Ding. 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 Ding.
And we're
Ding.
on air.
Nani.
Nani, indeed.
How's it feel to be clapped at from behind?
Snapping your fingers behind it was Sebastian, was it?
I think that was
From Evil Within.
yeah.
It's Psycho Break in Japan.
Bigger, stronger. Is this promo for Rekka or motivation for the rest of us? I'm trying to make this a better place to work, and look at you. Showing off.
Is this an HR matter?
Figures you don't see it. You think this encourages them? Nah, it's just a reminder. You don't have what it takes. The workers here need to know they ain't ever getting out of that hole they dug themselves into. This world is sick, dark, sad.
But we are supposed to help.
Help? Impossible. We just mask the reality, give an illusion we care. We can't change anything. The cards are stacked too high against us. This poster stays. It says the truth.
Pretty cool Easter egg.
Stronger. Bigger. Do you like your Easter eggs scrambled?
Whatever that means.
Scrambled or over easy?
Over easy. What is an over easy Easter egg?
I
Well,
don't know. It's sick and dark.
sick and dark.
Sick and dark Easter eggs.
Sick and dark Easter eggs. That's pretty bizarre.
And now to have a drink. It's cold.
Yeah, it's pretty cold today in Japan.
It almost rained in Tokyo.
No, you mean it almost snowed.
Oh yeah.
It actually did
Yeah,
snow.
it was-
a little bit momentarily.
Yeah, more like
You want to
slush.
be successful? You want to be productive? Then you gotta be aggressive. And when a defect punk like you wants to run out of here, you're just asking for it. Asking for what exactly? You disrespecting me? That's it. The gloves are coming off.
I can see that.
So
Those glove taking off animations are
Plan for this, Peppermint?
excellent.
know. Fight?
I wonder if they costed $1 million.
Maybe.
Double for this.
But I'm not paying you anything.
Ooh, they took off the gloves.
It is excellent though.
So let's get ready to crumble.
Let's get ready to crumble.
I haven't heard that in a long time. Used to play the Ready to Rumble boxing game on Dreamcast a lot. That was a good game. They aren't like arcade boxing games anymore, huh?
Yeah.
Remember, if you push the view button, you can get the the prompts. For
Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking, so it's really hard.
yeah, well, I'll shut up a little bit.
Huh? Yeah, it's okay. I can just kind of
Well,
look at the.
you can ignore me, basically.
You can go and talk.
Mhm. Also, just ignoring the animations and the cutscenes.
Use some juice!
Well, I guess I can kind of talk about this week's hardware sales. The stream was a little bit glitchy right there.
Guess I can't attack during this point.
You can't attack?
While there's the lightning.
Oh. Well, just continue to dodge on cue then. So, the hardware sales for Xbox in Japan this week had very, very good numbers. I assume probably because the price for the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X is going to increase on the 17th here in Japan. And also, I guess Microsoft wants to, have people get the chance to buy the hardware before the price goes up. It seems like they've been shipping a lot more. I see a lot of people say that. I see a lot of people saying that they've been able to get them. A lot of the stuff I've seen is people saying them getting it off of online stores, like the official Microsoft store, Amazon store, Rakuten, Yodobashi.com, BigCamera.com, all the e-commerce stores, right? So, the sales numbers you see are strictly non-online stores because the numbers are put out by Famitsu, and Famitsu only puts out sales numbers for physical stores, right? Anywho, the Xbox hardware sales for this week, the Series S sold 14,277 units. And the Series X sold 367 units, totaling to 14,644 units. I think this is actually the highest number that the Xbox has sold in Japan outside of launch numbers. So yeah, they did exceptionally good this last week. And thinking that a lot of the sales are actually online sales, it's probably a lot higher than that, I guess. I saw a whole bunch of people saying that they picked it up, and a lot of the people that I saw were first-time Xbox owners. They've never bought an Xbox before, kind of thing. So, and most of them that I've seen them got it because they were interested in Game Pass. So, obviously, people that want to play games that want to save a little money are looking at the opportunity to buy the Xbox before they raise the price 5,000 yen in Japan. So, really, really great week for sales. I'm hoping that the next week also has good numbers. I'd like as many people to be able to buy the Xbox Series family of consoles in Japan before the price goes up. Yeah, so overall great week for Xbox hardware in Japan. Overall, it was a really great week for all hardware. PlayStation also had like one of the highest numbers they've had in Japan, so they were able to ship. So it seems like the shipment is starting to of hardware overall, globally looking at it too, is starting to go into an area where hardware is available, meaning it's normal to be able to go into a store and be able to buy hardware, which is great overall for gaming, regardless of what platform you choose to play on, right? I saw some people saying though that because they're concerned that PlayStation also had one of its best weeks for hardware sales in Japan, but it also had one of its worst weeks for software sales, which is, so people are kind of perplexed. They're like, so 90,000 people bought a PlayStation 5 and none of them bought games? Kind of thing. Oh. So it's kind of a, I don't know, a strange situation. I saw some people having like their own theories and why that might be. Saw some people saying that, well, there's a good chance that with the sales kind of being normalized and you can pick up a PlayStation 5 normally now, which you can, it seems like. I've actually finally started seeing them in stores. I've also seen a lot of used units in stores now, so some people were saying that they think that maybe the low sales has to do with people who already own a PS4 that were finally able to upgrade, and they just bought the hardware just to upgrade it. They're just continuing to play the PS4 games that they own on the PS5 kind of thing, which is a possibility. Other people were saying that, you know, maybe people that bought it mainly to just do F2P games. And other people are also saying, well, the PlayStation 4 and 5 have a huge used market in Japan. And I know as a fact that a lot of gamers here only buy used games. There are a group of people that buy a game and try to beat it as quick as they can, like not sleep and beat it in like 1 or 2 days, and then sell it the next day. And then use that money to buy a new game and then sell it, or a used game and sell it. Kind of thing. There's some people that just like continue to buy and sell over and over, whether it be new or used, and a lot of people also buy used games too. So to kind of save money, right? Because used games are fairly pricey here in Japan too.
Yeah.
So since they're pricey, the reselling games is also pretty gives you a fairly good amount of money,
you never see Xbox games in the top 10 because Xbox is like 98% digital, and the major publications do not list digital sales.
Yeah. So
It's like the UK,
yeah, basically.
and how the cheap ass couch analysts always use the UK charts to get some kind of stupid point through.
Yeah, even the lazy ass couch analysts, game analysts, don't use Famitsu numbers from Japan because they know it's so incorrect. Probably. Even they don't do that. This is regarding hardware, software sales. But some of that splashes over to PlayStation also, because a lot of people have moved to digital ownership of games on the PlayStation also. So, yeah, you know, I assume the numbers are a little bit better than people give them credit for. Just, you know, to be fair.
Haven't you heard? Better start looking for a new production head.
Is this some sort of joke?
Oh, now this is a juicy meeting.
Do you want me to reschedule this?
Zanzo, I think you're muted, honey.
Oh, I was going to say... Corsica, get your people to production right away.
Oh, yes, sir.
Go ahead. Send whatever you want. See this? Peppermint and I are gonna kick your ass with your own tech.
Peppermint.
And if that's not enough, check out my arm. I can make a guitar and slam it down.
Idiot! Come on!
Oh, Peppermint Patty went through some major changes.
What? That's Peppermint Patty? Grown up? That's awesome.
Peppermint Patty is a transhuman.
Is Peppermint Patty like one of the first official lesbian characters or something?
Or getting the job done?
I always had the impression that she was.
No, you're not acting
Yeah.
alone.
I think everybody has that impression.
Yeah.
Blown. I have to
So actually, I've always kind of liked Peppermint Patty. I thought she was really cool.
What?
Okay, I might have been on a power trip. I am sorry. But you got your data right? Spectro?
The data that
Yeah, Charles Schwartz put in a lot of social things hidden inside the Peanuts Snoopy comics.
Yeah.
He was way ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Snoopy would be called woke or whatever by like dumbass shit for brains people that like watch Fox News.
Fox News claims that Snoopy is woke and trying to turn your children into child molesters. What? Kind of thing. Whatever that means.
Says there are casters that are like sexual predators, wife beaters, and like neo-Nazi psychopaths.
The neo-Nazi psychopath part probably applies.
Well, several of their quote star people have quietly left the station for beyond sexual harassment.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Hey, Jai, before you head out, I want to show you something I was working on.
Yeah, I'm probably the only person that even remembers the name Bill O'Reilly, and I don't remember it because I care. I just remember it because any time I heard that name, it was always involving something stupid.
Yeah.
I guess people now get like Tucker Carlson or whatever the fuck he's called. Whoops.
Oops. It's okay to use the F.
Well,
to drop the F-bomb
he's
on
a
Fox,
piece
right?
of shit that is like human garbage that just lives off of trash and promoting Nazi thinking.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
He probably has like a.
eh,
If you ripped his clothes off, he'd probably have like a iron eagle and a swastika tattooed on his back or something.
his nipples are swastikas. he has swastikas tattoos where his nipples are.
He probably likes the furry Hitler game. That's the only game he likes, probably.
Again with that furry Hitler. You talked about that before, and I was like, what in God's name is that?
Everyone does not need to know about furry Hitler.
I bet if you could talk and see I look pretty cool.
No one needs to know about that game. I promise you, I do not own that game. I strongly, I say that very firmly.
Wait. On second thought, I want to get prepped.
It actually looks like I missed a couple of those.
Uh,
I thought I looked at
you
everything
can
so
do
far.
stage select after you beat the game, right?
You need to beat the game like 4
3
or
or
5
4 times.
times.
Yeah.
You need to beat it on each difficulty.
So it looks like I can modify your energy source to micromanage your abilities.
I don't need help.
I know.
So I guess you're like woke or whatever the stupid hell they call it if you think that
This is what what I was
transhumans with robotic legs are hot.
Maybe. Peppermint is hot.
With a few broken Armstrong parts, I can make you passive skills.
Actually, I like the character designs for all the characters in this. Rekka is pretty cool too, in my opinion. I like very muscular female characters overall.
You'll need to equip these for them to
You're a muscle shield.
Muscle shield.
Muscle shields.
That sounds like muscle shoals.
If you know that you're like really old, and a R&B shield.
Oh, that I am.
Hot buttered soul.
Hot buttered soul.
Sitting on the dock of the bay.
Mm-hmm.
Would you?
I'll keep an eye out.
Booker T and the MGs.
Yep. Some of the best music ever made.
Don't hate the player. Hate the game.
Actually saw Booker T and the MGs live.
Yep.
That was one of the best lives I've
and
seen.
we saw Donald Duck Dan
Yeah.
before he passed away,
yeah.
thankfully.
And Blue Note Tokyo, actually.
Yep.
It was really, really cool to be able to see them play that close up.
Yeah.
It's just such a. They just have such their groove is just something, huh? It's just something that can't be
Off the hook.
mimicked. It's the chemistry that they have. It's just their own thing. It's amazing to be able to actually see them live.
Doesn't have to do with stacks, but it would have been nice to been able to see the meters.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
George Porter and Jr. and Boogaloo had some sick groove.
Yeah. There's still. I think it's hard. I think they really are up there with my favorite band ever, the Meters. It's just like their albums are kind of what I imagine perfection to be. It's just so like awesome, huh? It's tight and laid back. It's loose and tight. It's like it's like alchemy. It doesn't make sense almost.
They're oxymorons.
Yeah, it's paradoxical.
It's icy hot.
Icy hot. Yeah.
If you played the Shaq Fu game, you'll understand that term. The refreshing oxymoron.
You got a comment from Mibo Rainy Mibo.
Our eternal secret
Your
admirer.
secret admirer.
Our only secret admirer.
We assume
Our only vocal secret admirer.
vocal secret admirer. That we assume might be a cat because this individual only sends us emoji with stamps. And they've spoken to us once when you were playing on Vampire Survivors.
And that seems to be the only game that resonated that we've played so far.
So far, yeah. They said awesome game. That's
Yeah.
I assume maybe a cat would be able to.
Maybe like the guy that played Elden Ring with his mind. Maybe the cat typed in awesome game with its mind.
Oh, that would be so cool if you imagine,
Psychokinesis cats.
if you imagine that controller that you control games with your mind, that sensor helmet thing, a tiny sensor helmet thing, putting it on a cat and having a cat control game.
It's like the thing that Professor Xavier has.
Yeah.
That helmet that he like goes like that.
Yeah, that he used this to speak to people all over the world.
Yeah.
That would be awesome to see a cat like that. Anyways, Meebo Rooney Meebo comment is cool cat. Music note, cool cat, cool cat, cool cat, cool cat, music note, music note.
Basically, whatever bond you created with 808 puts out a digital
So, thanks for the comment.
That means you can teleport me back here whenever.
Maybe one day we'll know what that means.
You and 808 are the antenna. I just latch on.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now I remember. You were talking about the stuff with 808 and Kanye, and now I remember the name of that album.
Mm-hmm.
It was Heartbreaks and 808.
Oh, yeah. Heartbreaks and 808, yeah. That's probably one of his last really, really great albums, though.
No, his last really great album was the one that didn't have a cover.
Oh, the one that was just sold in like a plastic.
Yeah, before he, I don't know, got into Nazism and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Kim Kardashian did that to him. Yeah,
The establishment.
He actually had some very deep stuff in that one, like the what was it? The what was it? Why did I forget the name of that one? Had that I totally forgot the name of the
Well,
song.
I'll take your word for it and listen to the album. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that one. And I even found the bizarre video for for that with him and Kim Kardashian on the bicycle, a motorcycle, amusing. That sampled that song that the person wasn't happy that he sampled.
Oh, really? There was something like that. I guess he's even more upset now, huh?
Oh, he's probably really pissed now.
Yeah.
Now, talk about Kanye. That reminds me, I saw that amusing thing this week that, like, his lawyers that wanted Dick to quit finally, after months, found him and resigned from being his lawyers.
So he was like running away from his lawyers so they couldn't quit or something?
Well, he's like in hiding or whatever.
Well, if I was a Nazi representative, I would probably be in hiding most of the time too, I guess. Especially if I was famous.
Famous Nazi representative.
Famous Nazi representative.
That sounds like really like out there avant-garde jazz album, huh?
Famous Nazi representative.
Like avant-garde jazz, free jazz album.
It's like a social album, kind of,
Yeah.
it has heavy social messages.
Yeah.
You can go to the next stage.
Did I go to the couch?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. No, I was trying to find a way to get into it.
Yeah.
Ha!
Right, mission report. So according to the files I stole, Spectra is a multifaceted cognitive AI algorithm.
It's a multi-fascist algorithm?
Multi-fascist. It's fascist at many levels. That's an evil AI.
Well, it's like what Twitter's become.
Yeah, Twitter's a multi-fascist AI.
Yeah. Apparently Twitter will die in a couple of days.
If they implement that thing that people are rumored that you'll only
I think the
20
major
tweets
outage they had is because they added that program into the system.
secretly they're adding it to the algorithm.
This guy.
That's the head of R&D, Zonzo. He runs
JoJo
the whole
references.
brand of
JoJo
AI
reference.
labs.
Which means I'll probably run into him. He looks insane.
Reviews from workers aren't too hot on this guy. He's a
The proper
professional.
JoJo reference
Build
is
until it's
to
right.
point your
You
finger
build it,
downwards
it's
like
right.
this.
Creator complex.
Yeah, that's
Hair.
Neural interface.
generally
Ideas are everything, so we
people can
monitor
see it on the
directly
little
inputted
wipe from the
concepts into
camera.
work pipeline.
That's the
We sneak in,
standard
The
Joel Taro
the
pose.
famous Joel Taro pose from the
I think it was the cover of comic number 14, I think, maybe.
I think I found
No, it might be wrong. Around there, I think. You can bring the prompt up. Also, the blue cat ball that Yaoya is currently also shows you the right timing to play games. If you want to get used to it, continue to just dash every beat. Like, tap, 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 kind of thing.
and I need everyone to know that this is like twice as hard because I don't have the volume that high.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because I don't want it to be noisy while I'm playing. So I'm like really just kind of barely hearing it while I'm talking crap like this.
Yeah, you actually aren't using an in-ear monitor, and you're listening to a very, very small sound from a little speaker that's close to you.
Yeah, I tried doing that like the first 2 streams, and it was bugging me so much that I stopped doing it because it was like distracting.
Yeah. You want me to turn the sound up on the speaker that's close to you?
Yeah, like being messy is part of the amusement.
Yeah, well,
This is not.
4 times you need to go through the game.
Yeah,
anyways.
this is easy, so whatever.
Yeah, you're on easy mode right now, so. Unfortunately, it's a pretty forgiving game, although it's a rhythm game. Huh. Which is what's nice about it.
Yeah.
So virtually you're playing the game with 0 sound.
Yeah.
So
I should have done the setting that if I just push X, I can eternally like do the combos and dashes and stuff.
well, you might want to do that next week just in case, because if you're not hearing the sound properly. I actually hear the sound because I have headphones on right now and I'm monitoring the stream. But Jenny does not have any headphones into the monitoring to the stream, so virtually 0 sound right now. You're just gonna have to look at the prompts on the bottom, huh? So, well. Oh my god, that's cute. Right now I'm like, for God's sake, let me buy Yaoya, character goods and anything you can sell me Yaoya based, 808 based. For God's sake, sell me 808 merchandise.
Chats are pretty dang awesome. If you're a cat person. But I'm sorry to inform you, but if you're a dog person, you're also a cat person, because
Going way back, they're related.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah, because dogs are variants of cats.
If you go really back, they're connected.
I don't know the proper scientific wording for it, but in Japanese, dogs are nekomoku inuka.
Nekomoku inu ka inu.
Yeah.
I think.
So
and cats are nekomoku neko ka neko.
yeah.
Cat kind of. But
That's-
yeah, if you go way back, yeah, they do have a mutual ancestor.
Yeah. So yeah, you're cool if you're a dog person because you're a cat person in the end.
Yeah, and if you're a cat person, you also like dogs too, in
Yeah.
the end too. Which actually I do. I like dogs too.
Looks like some explosives set to clear the rock.
I still kind of want a Boston Terrier or a pug. I like how they look.
Yeah. I've always had a soft spot for Chihuahuas, even
Chihuahuas are-
before the Taco Bell
Yeah, even
Chihuahua.
before the Taco Bell.
I found them to have amusing faces.
Yeah, well, like I said, Boston Terriers, Chihuahuas, pugs. You kind of get the kind of dog that I like with those three. Those 3 dogs have a very I don't know, a very unique to a dog kind of look. that
They have distinct sentimentalism.
Yeah, they kind of have this. They look sad from some angles. Huh?
Why do they always pair me up with you? I never get anything done.
Don't. Messed up that whole one.
What? Are you stumped?
Hmm?
Why is it not getting out of this? Can you push B or something and go back? Did you bump into a bug? Huh. It seems like you ran into a bug.
This is sad. A sad day indeed. Well, I got to see that thing of 808.
Well, I guess
What?
Oh. I guess you didn't. I guess maybe that was the checkpoint, huh? Well, I can just talk about game news, I guess.
Sure.
Recently in Japan, in Akihabara, there was a special event in Akihabara that you could go to and play a demo of Like a Dragon Ishin Jiwami.
Nani?
Yeah.
Loyalty.
Yeah, I didn't go because because of COVID and everything. You can only play the game if you lined up and got a voucher. Because they can't let a lot of people in at once, right? So
But
social distance and
but
everything.
I've already pre-ordered that, so
Yeah. Anyways, apparently it was a pretty successful event. Some people had to wait 5 hours to play the game.
what?
So it was pretty popular. The Yokoyama, the director, the head of RGG Studios, was happy that it was a successful event. And he was just kind of, I was just reading an interview with him after the event about the state of where the game is and this and that about it. So anyways, Yokohama said that, although they did a real in-person event like this, they are planning on releasing a demo, apparently, a digital demo.
Oh really?
Yeah, so if you're interested in the game, when they do release the demo, hopefully for all the platforms. Every once in a while you get a game where they only have a demo on the PlayStation. But I assume there will be a demo for all of the platforms. Anyway, if you're interested in the game, try the demo out. Apparently they're working on a demo that will be a digital demo that you'll be able to download sometime before release. He also said in the last 2 years, the Like a Dragon / Yakuza series has sold 2.8 million copies.
Impressive.
And that's, that's really impressive, given that most of the sales would probably be legacy title sales. That is weird. Is this...
What in the world is
For some
happening?
reason, a bug is happening where it's not going in or out of this, huh?
Why can I not get past this?
And you can't get out of it?
It's not letting me restart anything or do
Or fail either, huh? That's really weird. Well, then, since you're not being able to hear the sound anyways, just turn the auto action mode on and, all that on and try redoing it then.
I'll have to suck up my tears and redo it. 'Cause I don't got much pride. Yeah, if life is this much shit and hurts you this much and beats you so savagely, you lose your pride.
Well, pride don't pay
Important message to you young children.
yeah, pride don't pay the bills.
Yeah. Pride don't keep you alive. Yep. You learn that the hard way, kids.
Well, since you're just going back to that point, we'll go back to what I was talking about. So, anyways, in the last 2 years, the Like a Dragon and Yakuza series, /Yakuza series, has sold 2.8 million copies, and the fan base has grown a lot, and especially to new, younger gamers, he said.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really happy that there's a new generation of people that are being introduced to the series. And he said that he said in an interview before too that he was really happy that Game Pass seemed to have a really positive effect on a new group of people being able to access the game. That they've had a lot of new time users.
Well, I mean, they haven't released a new one in the last 2 years.
Yeah, because
Because the last one was
7, the last new one, because he's specifically talking about the Like a Dragon Yakuza series, not the Lost Judgment series.
yeah, Lost Judgment was released, but the Yakuza and that has not been released during that period.
Yeah,
So it's all new people.
yeah, in an interview before, I think from last year, he was saying that he's really happy that Game Pass has seemed to help them reach a new audience, especially in the foreign audience, he said. And it seems to have worked good for them. Also, them releasing the games on PC have probably been a really big plus for them. You can also access the Like a Dragon and Yakuza games on PC Game Pass too, so I'm sure that helped too. He also said that well, actually, if you hand me the controller, you can get back to that. I can actually hear the sound, so I can just do that part for you, if you want.
I'm just trying to figure this out because it can't like lock you into not being able to do anything.
Maybe if you turn the assist things off, maybe it's a bug with the assist feature.
So it's an anti accessibility feature in the game.
I don't know. You seem to have bumped into some form of bug that won't allow you to succeed or fail. Usually when you fail those, you get out and are able to retry it, right? The option button isn't coming out now?
Well, nothing is coming.
Nothing is coming out now? That is weird.
The rest of the stream might just be here, so
Well, you might want
you
to...
can just keep talking. I think I might be redoing this area for like an hour or so.
You might want to reboot the game, actually, if it seems to be a problem.
All right, let's get this over with.
Yeah, tell me about it. I want to play the freaking game too.
I'm just saying that if it seems to be a problem, you might want to reboot the game.
No, he just said, "All right, let's get it over with." And I said, "Yeah, I want to play the freaking game too." It's not a problem with that. I'm doing what it says and it's not working. I'm doing it at the timing it's showing too.
Yeah, and also even if you fail, it's not letting you fail too. So it's kind of some glitch or something, huh?
Well, if all else fails, I'll just play Vampire Survivor. Because I unlocked the backcountry stage, so
Oh, really?
if I play that, I can get the 2 achievements that will help me recomplete the game. Go ahead and keep talking.
Yeah, and so he was saying that he's really happy about that. He also said that he thinks that people streaming the Like a Dragon and the Yakuza series games recently have seemed to also help them reach a younger audience too. He said that a lot of people have streamed it recently, and memes kind of became a thing with some of the Like a Dragon Yakuza games. And he was saying that seemed to have helped to kind of make their audience a little bit younger too. So a new younger audience. So he's really happy about that. And he said that's kind of another. So he was saying that he feels like it's a good timing. Nothing is working?
Absolutely nothing is working. I have no. Has anyone experienced something like this with this game?
So even if you push X, nothing is happening?
Well, and no matter what I push or do, nothing happens. It just keeps repeating this.
Well, I don't know. You might. Well, why don't you just go play Vampire Survivors then? You might want to uninstall and reinstall the game then.
I'll try one more time. If it does that, then I'll just do Vampire Survivors.
For the last like 30 or 40 minutes or something.
Yep. But this is the magic of this stream. I don't care.
You don't care.
It's I just do what I can and talk about whatever.
Yeah.
Because this is not and it will never be a technical stream. And what's the most awesome thing is that I'm doing this for charity, and I'll never really talk about this stuff like that.
Any money that you ever make through streaming or YouTube for that matter, you're just gonna give away, right?
Yep.
Looks like some explosives in the rock formations.
So anyways,
Isn't that cool?
yeah, that is cool.
Oh my God, it's so woke.
It's a woke.
Giving money and putting it back into society is so woke.
Being charitable is woke now?
Probably.
Would that make most like religious figures woke? Would that make Buddha woke?
Yeah, Buddha was based.
Buddha was based.
Yeah, no, conservative people call woke. Smart people call it based.
Basically, yeah.
And based is a compliment, and woke is supposed to be some kind of insult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm holding X, and he's not doing anything.
Weird. And you can't fill it after that either?
No, it won't let me retry or redo it, and it's not counting that I'm holding the button.
Weird.
Has anyone encountered this bug or whatever?
Well, I guess next week when you come back to it, you can try uninstalling and reinstalling and checking to see if that fixes whatever glitch that is.
Oh, look at it. This is like awesome. Have you ever seen stuff like this other than like baby ass streamers rage quitting games while they're streaming?
That does happen once in a while, huh?
Yeah. Or like The Rock said, candy ass.
Candy ass.
Anyone you want to see me try to do the new stage with? I can do
You got
whoever.
the new character?
New character who?
The new character is Mortaccio.
I have Mortaccio. He's the skeleton.
Oh, really? Oh, that's weird.
I
Like,
think.
maybe they added a new skill for him. Then.
Yeah, I think if you beat the stage, you can unlock the ability to have him become huge.
Oh, really? Well, why
Yeah.
don't you use him? Or is that you can't evolve his weapon, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be really hard then. Okay, well, whatever character. Okay, well, why don't you use one of the DLC characters then?
Yeah. Why not?
For so people who haven't bought the DLC, which
Do
is
you
only
want
like
do you
one
want
bot.
to see Mania, different Mania, Mikoi Oni, Bambi Onna, Shuto, Evolved Shuto, or Gavit Oni, which is a Kappa.
Kappa. Do the Kappa.
Okay. There it is.
By the way, we live close to an area called Kappabashi.
Ha ha.
And it's actually next to Ueno, which is pretty close to Akihabara. You can actually walk to Akihabara from Ueno Station, the area. But Kappabashi is in between Asakusa and Ueno. And they're famous. We go to Kappabashi fairly frequently because Jenny likes cooking. I actually like cooking too, but Kappabashi is famous for having is a city that is full of kind of knives and cutlery and basically utensils for cooking. Any cooking goods. You can buy from all over the world. You can buy there. It's a really fun place to go if you like cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the other day when you went there, you actually bought some baking stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
kind of start exploring baking your own bread.
Yep. Yeah, if anyone's interested on YouTube, I'll soon be cooking because
You'll be experimenting,
yeah,
right?
I'm doing it for to improve my life skills because I'm screwed, so I'll never be in a relationship or be with anyone ever.
You're gonna live a dark and lonely life,
Yeah.
totally, utterly alone. So you need to learn how to enjoy life by yourself, right?
Yep.
Wow.
But in the
Wow,
end,
that's dark.
but in the end, that's what's really important
Well,
because
learning to enjoy life with yourself.
if you're based, you know the important thing that Boz Skaggs told everyone: we're all alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember, close the window, draw the blinds, 'cause it will be all right. No need to bother now. Let it in. Let it all out.
Wise words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're based, you love Silk Degrees and the Middleman.
Yeah.
I have both on CD and record.
Yeah. Probably sounds great on record, huh?
It's absolutely awesome. Yeah.
Hmm.
Both the Middleman and Silk Degrees have some of the best album covers of all time.
Yeah, they do have great cover. They do have great album art, huh?
Yeah.
The album covers jackets from that time have some of the best, huh?
Yeah.
The late 70s to late 80s has some of the best album covers, huh?
Mm-hmm.
60s jazz album covers are great too, though.
Yeah. Thelonious Monk had
Yeah,
some
he
really
had the
awesome.
best.
Solo Monk is one of my favorites.
Mingus had some great covers too.
Yeah.
Huh? So going back to the Like a Dragon topic, the studio head of RGG Studios, Yokoyama, he was saying that he's happy that the game or the series is finding a new audience, and he thinks it's actually great timing that they've remade Ishi now, because he said it's been requested a lot from people, especially in the West. But he said that to them themselves, he said that the one thing that kind of confused them is that when people talk about like what's their favorite Yakuza or Like a Dragon game, he said basically everyone's like 0 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
And he said once in a while you get people saying they like 4 the most. But he said,
Oh, really? 4? Well, I like 4 too, but that's interesting.
yeah. But he was saying that to them, the developers, they said it was always kind of they're scratching their head kind of thing, because the developers themselves, always thought that actually Ishi is one of the best in the series, and almost no one brings that game up when they talk about what's their favorite Like a Dragon / Yakuza game. But he said that it really, they themselves, even back then, felt that was one of the best games in the series. So they said that hopefully with the new audience, they can reach a new audience and people will really enjoy the game, because they've greatly improved on a lot of things. Even the base game is great, but they've improved on a lot of things and make it a lot more fun and accessible, and so he's saying hopefully it will reach a wider audience, and based on that maybe they can kind of branch off and do different things with the series too, depending on how well this game is received. So I'm hoping that this will do good enough for them to go back and remake Kenzone.
Yeah, well, I would really appreciate if they did Of the End, because what more could you want than zombies and Yakuza?
Zombies and Yakuza in Shinjuku / Kamurocho.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool setting.
And that's the only other game other than Zero that you get to play Majima in.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's the only game you get to play not Saijima, Golda.
Oh yeah, Golda Ryuji. Yeah, the game.
And he has a freaking cannon as an arm.
That's pretty awesome. The game actually starts with you playing Akiyama.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like 4?
Yeah, and you get caught in this zombie apocalypse in Shinjuku outbreak, and you're kind of protecting Hana-chan and trying to find a way out of.
Hana-chan disappeared from 5, huh?
Yeah.
And Akiyama disappeared after 6. It makes me sad because you can't find Sky Finance anymore in Kamurocho post that.
Or
Even in the Judgment games, Sky Finance doesn't come out, and it hurts me thinking what happened to Akiyama. I don't know how many people understand this, but if you played the series or experienced and saw it, it will concern you deeply on the fate of Akiyama.
Yeah, I actually really like Akiyama as a character.
No,
He's a really cool guy.
it's interesting because I noticed that men like Akiyama, but it seems some women don't like him because he is in a way the counterpart of Kiryu, that he's kind of the perfect guy, but he even has a perfect ulterior motive and personality, kind of. And it seems to rub some women off in the wrong way.
I've seen some people, some female gamers saying they don't like him.
But I think I like him because he kind of see is a different kind of Kiryu, that he is in a way perfect and he's made mistakes, but he's just not lucky. He just does not have luck.
He's a very capable person.
Yeah.
Right? With bad luck.
Yeah.
But he's very capable and he has a good heart.
And does not have luck in love, just like Kiryu-chan.
Yeah, actually, yeah. That part actually kind of is similar with Kiryu too, huh? Yeah, actually, I really like Kiryu. I really like Akiyama as a character, and I hope he comes out sometime. I think he would actually work really well in Judgment as a series, because it has to do with law and business a lot more.
Yeah. And
I would love to see him at least in maybe do like a Dragon 8 as one of the finance people that you can hire.
yeah, well, he is at least in the mini game for the stock.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that as
trading.
a finance character that you can hire that you do business with, and that he actually maybe kind of teaches you business. I'd like to see story quests with him.
Yeah.
I think he would work really well with Kasuga.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's kind of a goofball, kind of like Kasuga too. So,
Yeah.
So I think they'd actually have a. I think they could be good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so anyways, Yokoyama was saying that hopefully Ishin can reach a wide audience, and maybe they can use that as a base to branch the series off in different directions and do different things. Whoa, this is like Sonic 3D Blast.
Whoa.
Awesome.
Freaking awesome. Some crazy ass schnitz going on.
Yeah. But actually, I would really like people to, as a Like a Dragon Yakuza fan, I really want the people to buy the game, because I would like to see that be successful, and then like remake, like you were saying, Ryuga Gotoku of the End, was it? Of the Dead. Yeah. But I would like them to remake Kenzan also. I actually started playing that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really cool setting. It's set in Gion, Kyoto. During the end of Sengoku Jidai. And toward the end of Sengoku Jidai, all the samurai started losing their jobs because no more war, right? So interestingly, back then, a lot of samurai kind of changed their jobs and started doing odd jobs. Some of them became shokunin, meaning people that had special skills, like luthiers, or different, or like ironsmiths too sometimes too. But the ones that couldn't climb the kind of not really corporate ladder, but the political ladder, in a sense. And Kiryu in that game, or slash Musashi, I think, in that game is
Oh yeah, he's Miyamoto Musashi in that, huh?
Yeah.
He's not actually Kiryu in that.
Well, he does come out as Kiryu, but I think he's hiding his name. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but reading stuff about it that. So anyways, he's just kind of hanging around Kyoto, being a bouncer and a person that collects money for the yukaku around that area, which is not really it's kind of a brothel and not kind of a brothel.
No.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you still have the ride. Be careful, be careful. So anyways, the setting is really great in Kenzo. So I'd really like them to see that remade because
I actually got it.
I'd love to see Gion, Kyoto from Sengoku Jidai, and end of Sengoku Jidai period, in the 1600s, in full form, because even the PS3 version, even back then, is actually pretty impressive. It's well made
really?
for a PlayStation 3 game. Gion is really nice. It's a cool kind of part of the Kyoto city.
Mm-hmm.
There's more the kind of, the area that people come to let steam off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd love to see them remake that game
Yeah.
too. So,
Gion is where there are a lot of geisha.
yeah,
If
Geisha.
you want some really entertaining information, and if you're a bad kid, or you're a pending bad kid that wants to know improper Japanese information, in the Kyoto area, there's a place. Well, close to the Kyoto area, there's a place called Tobita Shinchi that is a prostitution area.
yeah, it's very, very questionable.
Yeah. If you do weird shit, Yakuza, real Yakuza come out and you get in not beyond serious trouble if you mess with the girls in the
if you
area.
mess around the wrong way there.
Yep.
Yep. Not for
This is
amateurs.
information for important information if you want to hang out or go around there.
Yeah, and
But
also just
also really important information in almost all prostitution and sex houses and brothels, foreigners aren't allowed.
in Japan, most
Yep.
places, yeah. There are, I think, in some areas where, like, historically, there's a lot of foreigners, and like port towns in the Yokohama area. That comes out in Like a Dragon 7. But some of the brothel areas in Yokohama, actually, there are places that strictly only give services to foreigners, actually. I promise you, I don't know this information because I use those services. I promise. The more I say that, the more it sounds fake. But,
if you want and if you want deep information and truly like important information, personal information, like my like all-time favorite porn star when I was young, called Morimura Honey, worked at one of those places, and I wanted to go, even though I was like 20, but I never did, and I always regretted it. And later I found out that like almost all places like that you can't go. So I was like,
a foreigner can't go.
yeah, a foreigner can't go. So I was like, oh, good. It's not something that I have to regret the rest of my life anymore. I wouldn't have been able to get in anyways.
Yeah.
And it's really insulting because I even at that point I spent more than half of my life in Japan and I can speak Japanese and everything normally. So it's like, and the sad thing is it's like that even now. So even if you're a foreigner that has lived there all your life, you can't go to most of those places, even if you're rich or you have money or anything. Because apparently, if you're a foreigner, you don't have like civility or manners or intelligence.
Yeah, well, partially some of it has to do with the very, very gray rules there are with the sex services in Japan, because technically you are not supposed to have sex. So, but those are very questionable gray rules.
It crosses over to the gray rules of porn in Japan.
Yeah.
Everything still has mosaics in it, and the reason why it has mosaics is because it's like, well, they're not actually having sex, so it's okay.
That's one
they're
of the
just
rumors.
they're just pretending to, and they're not doing anything. They're just like doing just pretending to have sex in those videos, and it's like, come on, man.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the rumors. This is the problem about a lot of the really, really gray rules, is that nothing is really certain. Because I've also read from a person that is in adult pornography in Japan, that she said that no, that's not true. That's not the reason. But I also read people saying that, yeah, historically the background is that reason. But yeah, it's kind of, it depends on who you ask. So yeah, that's kind of the reasoning. But the real reason why things are gray is so you don't really know why. That's the real reason. And it's kind of the same with some of the brothels and the services here too. A lot of the rules are very murky and blurred for a reason.
They're more blurred than Robin Thicke said they were. They're more blurred lines than even he could comprehend.
Yeah, so the rules are kind of murky. And that's probably the reason why a lot of these places don't service foreigners in the first place. I guess that's the logical reason. Some of it you can say is probably xenophobia too. And some of it is, a lot of these places were originally run by organized crime, and actually organized crime in Japan do not really want to mess with foreigners because it's pretty messy. So I think that's probably the reality of it, is probably that if there is trouble, they don't want to mess with foreigners because it's a hassle if there is trouble with a foreigner. That's probably the main reason, I would assume, actually. Either way, it is what it is. Strange conversation for a game podcast.
And if you want to know something important, I don't know if you can find it now anymore, since it's long been since she retired. But Morimura Honey has the most beautiful breasts you will ever see in your life.
Like a Greek sculpture or something, huh?
Yeah.
It's like an artist sculpted.
If you see it, you will cry in its beauty.
It's not even erotic anymore. It's just beautiful. That's all.
In fact, like since I always had breasts, and that always embarrassed me. I didn't like breasts, and in a way, breasts made me like sick. And I didn't like people with big breasts or even big breasts, period. Because I had breast phobia. But
when previously, when you were a man at one point, you felt ashamed of what people call man breasts.
Yeah.
Which I hate that word. That word basically exists just to make people feel bad.
Yeah, and I didn't like, and I personally never went to onsen because it was embarrassing to me. Because I didn't want people to look at me and think that I have breasts. It was so embarrassing. But like I had breast phobia like that. Well, big breast phobia. And her breasts were so beautiful. I learned to like breasts.
You're like, hey, wait, the human form is beautiful.
Yeah.
The human figure is beautiful. Yeah, so people learn things in many different ways, right?
Yeah. You learn so much stuff in unexpected ways.
Yeah. Yeah, so well, that goes to show you it's important to try new things in life and different things in life. Sometimes even doing things that make you feel uncomfortable can help you, change your perspective, right?
Yeah.
It's important to challenge yourself. As long as it's not evil.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Don't go doing evil challenges.
Yeah. Don't go do evil stuff.
Yeah. Well, that was some serious discourse, but I guess it's not too off topic when you talk about Like a Dragon and the Yakuza series, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, it's not off topic because there are Kyabajo / Cabaret girls
And
in it, so
Fuzokujo in it too.
there's some real stuff, and quite frankly, the Cabaret Club mini game is maybe one of the best mini games ever in any game.
Yeah.
What the?
What?
Huh? Is it running?
Wait a second.
It says I started playing.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a strange slowdown.
Yeah, some bizarre slowdown, but I had the manners to not talk while it was going on and make sure everything was okay.
Yeah, because like even
I am woke and based.
you're woke and based. Like even the heroine in Like a Dragon, her sister came out as a part-time Fuzokujo.
Yeah.
And it doesn't depict that in a shameful way. So.
And in a way, even Satya is a low class cabaret club worker in what people call a busue snaku, which is like a end of the line snack, snack or bar pub that like people who don't have money or like.
Or have a limited funding
Yeah.
to not play in places that are expensive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are people that don't go to Ginza to drink, right?
Yeah.
If you go to Ginza to drink, it will cost you an arm and leg, so.
Arm, leg, and a nut.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of those places closed after COVID since a lot of people just couldn't go out.
I'm sure it was hard, but the people they service are, pretty well established financially, so I'm sure they were fine.
Yeah.
The
Well,
smaller places probably.
the smaller
hard.
places, suffered greatly.
Oh yeah. By the way, Like a Dragon Ishin Kiwami. If you pre-order the game, it comes with 4-day early access. What you do?
Shit.
What?
The item's like way above me.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Are you gonna make it?
I don't know.
You still have 11 minutes.
No, but I'm supposed to like pick it up at 18 minutes. It's 19 minutes
Oh, well,
now.
that's
Oh
impossible.
no. What the hell? Why didn't why didn't the arrow appear?
That's weird.
Man.
Well, this is a survival stage, so the rules are probably a little bit different. Well, if it's a 20-minute rule stage, then doing one more round is probably about just right. Once you play the character that looks like a tanuki.
I don't know. If I do it another time, it might take a while.
It's 20 minutes, though, right? At maximum. silence. It ends in 20 minutes, right? You okay? Are you getting,
No, I'm not.
is the coldness making you sleepy?
No, it's not. It's just I'm just thinking about the timing and all.
Remember, don't think, feel. What are you doing? What?
It's the breath of the wild.
Okay, well, I guess
The insane coldness is bringing the breath of the wild. Why don't we talk about some fruitful stuff?
fruitful stuff.
Yeah, and I'll talk about porn stars and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't think the mic is picking your speaking right now, so. So anyways, Jenny has left the building. I'll talk about this and that gaming topics, I guess, for a minute or two. I guess I can talk about the games coming to Game Pass this month that have been announced. Today, Madden NFL 23 has been added to Game Pass console and PC. SD Gundam Battle Alliance has been added to Game Pass console, PC, and cloud today. Apparently it's a really fun game. I'll probably play it and try it out, see how it is. I'll probably beat the game. Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord is coming to console, PC, and cloud on February 14th, 2023. And City Skyline Remastered for the Series X and Series S will be coming to Game Pass on February 15th. Series X, Series S, and Cloud. It's a remaster of the last gen version. Shadow Warriors 3 Definitive Edition coming to Game Pass for console, PC, and cloud on February 16th. Atomic Heart on February 21st for console, PC, and cloud. Atomic Heart looks fantastic. The developers were saying that on some of the performance of the game, Atomic Heart for a PC will be the only one that version of the game that will launch with ray tracing. The Xbox Series X and PS5 versions will not launch with RTX for now. So they aren't saying it will never have RTX. But they might be working on it after the launch because they have, in an interview I read that they're looking into adding different graphics options for the game after launch, post-launch for consoles. But they also said that even without ray tracing, though, Atomic Heart for the consoles are optimized very well on the graphics side. So they look very, very close to high-end PC in terms of the graphics quality, apparently. That's good to hear. Also, the Series S version of Atomic Heart will be running at 1080p 60 frames per second, so you won't be stumped of playing a 60 frames per second version of the game on Series S for Series S users. So Jenny can play Atomic Heart in 60 frames per second if she wants to, streaming it on this podcast, on this streaming it on Twitch if she wants to in 60 frames per second on Series S. Also, Wild Hearts will have a 10-hour early access trial for Game Pass Ultimate and EA Play subscribers. Apparently, Wild Hearts is pretty fun, from what I've read.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
I hope it is.
Yeah, to an extent, it does seem like it's a blatant copy of Monster Hunter.
Well, but wasn't the God Eater game that the place that made that was making like Monster Hunter?
I don't know. But the team that made the Wild Hearts is the same team that made a game called Kitoden, I think. And that was different enough for Monster Hunter that it had its own thing too. And with
really?
Wild Hearts, it. What?
It's just nothing good was coming out. So I just had to suck it up and take the sand of water.
Yeah, and Wild Hearts, having all this karakuri system in the game, it seems like I think it would be unique enough to differentiate itself from Monster Hunter, even Monster Hunter Rise, which is kind of set into a similar parallel universe Japan kind of setting with the karakuri system. Apparently, you can set up karakuri traps on the map, and it stays there apparently. So you can continue to use. You can set up traps along the map that are there until they actually break. So you can kind of strategically build up like a hunting ground.
So it's like Monster Hunter and Team Fortress put together.
I'm not exactly
I
sure
mean,
about that.
like the tower defense.
Tower defense.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's some aspects like that. So building karakuri is a really, really important part of the strategy in the game. And being able to do that with other people makes it even more strategic, I guess. So I'm assuming that probably Wild Hearts is a little bit more strategic than Monster Hunter, maybe. So, anyways, apparently from what I've read, it's pretty fun. So I'll probably try out this hour free trial and see if I like it.
The real important question is, does it have cats in it?
Ah.
Yeah. I've been playing an unhealthy amount of Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I'm not being able to catch up with you.
Yeah. I need to help
Rings.
boost you with the hub quest.
Yeah. Jenny's been playing an unhealthy amount of Monster Hunter, and I've been playing an unhealthy amount of Elden Ring, so
Yeah.
it's hard for me to catch up. Anyway, she'll help me boost my character in Monster Hunter Rise. You're enjoying it so much, you will definitely be buying Sunbreak, huh?
Oh yeah, I'll get Sunbreak for sure.
Yeah. You'll probably stream it, huh? Every once in a while, you'll go back to streaming and showing your progress in Monster Hunter Rise, huh?
Yeah.
Your character looks totally different.
Yeah.
You have some pretty awesome armor.
I'm up to Hunter rank 6 now.
I'm still like on 2 or something, so
Yeah.
long ways to go.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but I don't have a Palamute with me right now. I'm going around with 2 cats.
Yeah.
Two gatherer cats. Farming material.
You have 2 farming cats
Yeah.
with you. Are you heading to the relic?
Well, it doesn't appear on the map. I'm just kind of guessing and going upward.
At what point does it appear?
At 18 minutes, but like
It appears at 18 minutes? So it's kind of luck based?
I don't know. I mean,
If it appears at the
the
18-minute
one
point,
it said it appears on the map, but I didn't see it, and the one at 8 minutes appeared on the map, and I picked it up. The one at 18 minutes didn't appear, and I had to I pushed the button, and it was like it appeared way above me, but there was no green arrow, so I couldn't make it to where it was. That's why I'm like kind of staying upwards now.
well, I don't know. Maybe the developer made it much more randomized and luck based so that people don't speed run and get all the 3 new achievements they added in like an hour. Maybe it is totally luck based.
Oh, I don't know, but well, I'll try.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, that's the end.
Yeah. Other game news. Capcom announced Ghost Trick Phantom Detective.
Yeah, it's nice to see they're actually releasing their older stuff on Xbox since they decided that Rockman is like unimportant anymore.
Although I'm happy about Ghost Trick Phantom Detective coming to Xbox, I can't imagine that it would sell better than the Rockman RPG collection. It's kind of a
apparently
bizarre.
we don't deserve that, and we wouldn't buy a freaking Rockman RPG collection.
Yeah, it's really
It,
weird.
it totally does not give me hope if they'll ever port, if they announce it, the Rockman Dash ones, which I never got the privilege to play,
Yeah.
which has so many people's goat female character in it.
What was her name? The villain of
Yeah.
the game.
People like the good girl in it too.
Yeah. She's in other Rockman games too, though, huh? It's only the villain that was first introduced in that game, right?
Yeah, she's in the fighting games though,
Yeah.
like in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw someone saying that Marvel vs. Capcom runs exceptionally well on Xenia.
Yeah, I kind of saw a thing of that. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's
brings
you can't-
back so much memories.
Yeah, you can't buy that anymore on Xbox Live Arcade and
Yeah.
the Xbox 360 market. So I'll probably be giving that a try sometime, and I'll have to get into installing Xenia on. Well, actually, I'll probably just do it on my PC instead of Xbox. So anyways, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is one of the best fighting games ever made, so. I assume that probably licensing issues is blocking them from remastering that, because they have the character that was designed by a Japanese comedian, one of the most famous Japanese comedians of all time in Japan. Norimaru, was it?
Shinashi Noritake, and it was Norimaru was
Yeah,
the character.
that character was designed by a comedian who's also a legitimate artist too.
Yeah.
He does art exhibitions and everything.
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming that maybe that's challenging for them to try to remaster or re-release that game. Maybe.
I don't know.
Because
maybe
it's not really him, but I'm pretty sure that maybe they did that as a TV show. So possibly the IP might be held by Fuji TV.
No, it was Nihon
Nihon
TV. Yeah.
Yeah,
Channel
possibly
4.
that character's IP holder might be Nihon TV.
Yeah.
And that might be a challenge. Because that character is made because of a kind of a something that they did on a show that he was comedy show
that they kind of like, if you're interested, we'll like do designs for stuff, and amusingly Capcom thought that was interesting, so they offered have him design a character in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which apparently Marvel was really not happy about.
Yeah, they were really pissed about it.
Actually, it might not be remastered because of that.
I mean, I don't see why they should be upset about Capcom's original characters in a game. I do understand. I did hear that Marvel was pissed that they made Juggernaut insanely huge in the X-Men game. I heard that it was either
weren't they? Wasn't Akiman saying that they were pissed off that he made the high cut for Psylocke's costume a little too high? And they asked them to change that, and they silently didn't change it, and it was released and it was too late, so they never said anything about it after that.
Yeah, apparently, I'm not sure if it's all true, but like stuff that I've read about a lot of the Capcom Marvel stuff is that apparently Capcom was like pissing off Marvel in a lot of areas. I heard that they were upset that they made Juggernaut insanely huge. And like his fists were bigger than his head, right? But that's kind of how like Juggernaut is in American comics now too. Also, they were really pissed back in the day, apparently, with the Punisher game, where Capcom made the Kingpin insanely big. Capcom seems to have a thing of making really, really, really big characters, right? The villains being really big, or built, in a sense. And I read somewhere that apparently they weren't happy about that either. Yeah, and like you said, I also read that they weren't happy about Psylocke's V-cut for her clothes being too high cut and revealing too much skin.
But in heart she's a kunoichi, so she needs to be revealing a lot of skin.
Yeah, she's supposed to kind of make you weak in a sense, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry to inform some people and TERFs and feminists, but kunoichi are very sexual spies.
Yeah. Well, actually,
And actually women spies themselves are very sexual.
well, a lot of them were taken advantage of, but yeah, they were used.
Well,
in
they
that
use their
way,
charm
so,
to get information out of people,
Yeah.
which spies do even now.
Yeah. Actually, even male spies.
That's what a honey trap is, anyways.
Yeah, actually, a lot of male spies do that too. There's strangely, there's a Japanese female talent that was about to get married to a spy, that got close to her, and I don't know. This is what she's claiming, so I can't 100% say that it's true. So yeah, a lot of it has to do with being an attractive person. And that attraction can either be sexual or intellectual too. In her case, she found the person intellectually attractive, and she liked the person's personality. But apparently, yeah. So that's trying to be charming.
Yeah, and
is
she
a part of-
kind of tried to get to know the person too much that one day they
They just disappeared because
she called them and they got angry in a way that she never heard, and just hung up
Yeah, she became
and
too
never saw
sus.
them. Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm not sure if that's true, but yeah, if it is,
I'm sure it's true though. There's spies everywhere.
actually, even corporate spies too.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to do with that too. So, being charming is an important part of your job, right?
Yeah. In real life, it's not really like spies like us.
Yeah, it's not like
I enjoyed those older comedy movies though.
yeah, and actually, going back to the ninja thing. A lot of ninjas, well, basically ninjas are spies, right? A lot of ninjas' jobs were to learn different Hogan from Japanese. This is different
Accents, you could say.
in Japanese, and living in different prefectures of Japan because it was really divided during the Sengoku Jidai, and living in different prefectures or different kuni within Japan. And leaking information to the kuni that or region that they work for, and they just live there as normal people. So nothing really actually exotic. Actually, it's more like undercover cop thing, but less exotic. It's not like you're undercover as like in like a drug ring or something. You're undercover as like a normal guy that's working at the store kind of thing.
They're spies, and then they 167 on the undercover car.
Yeah, but apparently,
if you remember old school Snoop.
so apparently a lot of what the ninjas were doing during the Sengoku period was pretty unexotic and mundane, everyday life kind of stuff. For anyone concerned. I'm sure there were really exciting adventures for some of the capable people too.
It
But
probably depended on where you were spying at.
I guess,
You probably needed to be really competent to get those good jobs.
probably.
And if you weren't, they had you pretend to be like a gardener inside the palace for
Yeah.
like the entirety of your life and just leak
Or-
rumors or information you heard.
Or if you were a kunoichi, try to infiltrate the Ooku and climb the ladder within there and get close to the shogunates and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Anywho, just some.
I don't know. They
random
probably don't touch up on it, but a lot of the male ones were too, because a lot of
Probably.
the busho and shogun were gay.
Actually, a good amount of them were. Interestingly, apparently.
Well, there's even a lot of written information about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of koibumi between different busho back
Well,
then, which is a love letter.
well, the
To one other
samurai,
male
the
samurai.
samurai and the generals were actually really woke, and most of them were at least bisexual.
A good amount of them were. It
Yeah.
was, apparently, it was pretty,
And in a way, you are considered to be a wuss if you weren't.
some form, yeah.
It's like you can't even do it, man. You're a wuss. And that was like 400 or 500 years ago. So like, talk about being woke ahead of time.
Yeah, interestingly, sexually, Japan has become a lot more conservative after the westernization
Yeah.
of Japan, actually. Mainly from a lot of the modern thinking and schools of thought came from the Yezuskai, from Catholic
Yeah.
teachings, and of course that would be conservative, right? Sexually very conservative. Yeah, apparently that has a big influence on me.
Well, I mean, going to talk about that, before it was actually admirable that you had a lot of sex a long time ago.
Yeah, to some,
and
in some rural areas,
and in a lot of counties and villages, they would have a festival if you declared that you did have sex with 1,000 people.
in some of the more rural areas.
Having sex with 1,000 people, aka it was called seningiri. If you did that, then that's like a feat for the ages, and they had a festival when someone did. That would have been pretty exciting.
Maybe, and nowadays it might be like a special Twitch stream or something.
Yeah. No, it would have been on TikTok or something.
TikTok. I'm not sure if that would work. So, going back to the Capcom's Ghost Phantom Detective.
Wow, that really went off
Yeah.
there.
Um,
Off the rails.
Yeah, it's coming to Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC this summer. It has improved graphics, new features. They reworked some of the stuff to assets so that it works in 1080p 60. So yeah, it seems like they put a lot of effort into this part. So and apparently it's a really fun game. So check it out. Other information, Don't Nod announced Harmony, the Fall of Reverie for Xbox, Switch, PS, and PC. It's a narrative game where players can see into the future to make decisions that affect two different worlds. Our world, this current world, and the world of deities, which is called the Reverie.
Like the Nether Realm.
It's a world of deities, so it's kind of like a world of gods with different powers, and the main character in Reverie has the godly skill to see into the future. And you can base your decisions off of the future that you see, but the decision making apparently is important and affects our current world and the world of Reverie. I'm assuming that it's a game with a lot of hard decisions. It's a very narrative-heavy game. The art direction is pretty cool. It's more kind of I wouldn't call it anime because the art style is too Western for it me to call it anime. Kind of in between anime and Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh, really? It's actually not a real-like game?
Yeah, it's not like that.
So they're actually doing one that's not, like, really real?
Yeah, they announced it on the Nintendo Direct, so it has to
Right.
be something that the Switch can run. I'm not trying to throw shade at the Switch, but, the Switch isn't really the most graphically photorealistic console in the world, so... but it's coming to everything, and Don't Nod always writes great stories, so I'm sure it's an interesting game. The music is also done by Lena Raine, who did the music for Celeste. Seems like a cool game. Might want to check it out. Also, Alan Wake 2, apparently, is playable from beginning to end.
That's exciting.
And
I look forward to it.
yeah,
already.
and their financial earnings, they said that it's playable from beginning to end, and they are adding they are currently adding the rest of all of the in-game content, and after that they will be in the phase of polishing. And they are scheduled for 2023 fiscal year, so I would assume it'll probably be a year-end game, maybe fall winter-ish this year. It's toward... Oh, the arrow came out this time.
Yeah, this time it did.
Hopefully you can make it.
Damn it. It's really far away. Am I getting close at all?
Well, I'll continue ahead to see what happens.
Oh man, it's way under me this time.
So it seems like it's totally randomized, huh?
Oh no.
Well,
It was above me last time, so
you
I
were
was
heading
hanging.
up.
Oh man, I'm not gonna make it probably.
So probably the trick is to stay around where the game starts. So whether it appears up, down, or left or right, you're not too far from it, maybe.
I was totally tricked.
Well,
I feel robbed.
well, you know now that you should stick around where you begin, then, huh?
Man. Sometimes things just don't work. Really ironic. The conversation maybe have been some of the most entertaining so far.
Well, at least it was a conversation, right?
Yeah. Hey, if anyone's listening, at least it was amusing. Wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it?
Also, apparently, Call of Duty 2023 will be released as a full-fledged game. There was a rumor that it would kind of be a DLC add-on kind of thing for Modern Warfare 2. But apparently it evolved into a full-fledged game, and Sledgehammer is mainly working on it, but also working with all the other studios that work on Call of Duty. It'll be a full-priced, full-fledged Call of Duty game that is heavily connected to Modern Warfare, and so another Call of Duty will come out this year. I'm interested to see what will happen with Activision Blizzard King. What?
No, it's just not here.
It's not there?
Yeah.
You don't see it even though you're there?
Yeah. Well, I didn't get to it by the time it said to get there.
It disappears then?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I'm interested in seeing what will happen with Activision Blizzard King. I honestly don't give a flying flark about Microsoft either being able to or not being able to buy ABK, because I'm not really a fan of Activision Blizzard or King.
Mm-hmm.
The only game I care about from them is Tony Hawk, and they killed the team that made that game.
Yep.
So I don't really care.
They moited the team, yeah.
I'm just interested. I'm at the point right now where I'm bringing out the chair and eating popcorn, looking at two mega corporations each other's throats. I'm enjoying Microsoft and Sony biting at each other's throats right now. Basically. And I'm interested in seeing how this will turn out, whether this ABK buyout goes through or falls through. I'm interested in how this process affects business after here.
It'll be pretty darn interesting
Yeah.
because it ain't gonna be pretty.
Yeah, I would assume so. You will see a different landscape on how Activision Blizzard King works. Also, I read somewhere that if the ABK buyout falls through, sorry for my pronunciation of words becoming messed up. The alcohol is kicking in, and it being 2 o'clock in the morning in Japan on a very cold day, my lips are stiff. So anyways, I read that if the ABK buyout falls through, that apparently Kotick will stay, which I assumed. Anywho, well, it is what it is. But I kind of see, if the ABK buyout falls through, I kind of see a future where everyone loses. The devs lose, Microsoft lose, Sony loses because they kind of burned the bridges with Activision Blizzard King, and consumer loses because they don't get to access games on more platforms or for a lower price. And Bobby Kotick loses too in the end, which I don't have a problem with because I hate that dude. But anyway, it's kind of interesting to see how it kind of rolls out. Their tone is obviously shifting, so.
Yeah.
And you have a group of,
do you want to do business with someone that screws you over?
yeah, for a $69 billion deal. Yeah. This was Bobby's way of getting out with a great, retirement check.
Yeah.
Personally, I really don't care. I just wish that the developers had a better place to work, that's all. And, just to be fair, I would assume that under Microsoft, it would be a better place to work, of course. But with all the layoffs that Microsoft has been putting out, I wouldn't exactly say it would be a better place to work, but doesn't exactly mean that it's a safer place to work. There's still a good chance that you'd be laid off, depending on the performance. So, anywho, just have to see how things roll out. With that, there's a really, really strange game that was announced.
Strange game.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with consoles, so I'm not sure how much people would be interested in it, but it's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Sega announced Error Game Reset. This is a mobile game for iOS and Android, and it is in collaboration with Yoko Taro, who made the Nier series and the Dragon Dragoon series. It's a social game. It's a mobile game, but yeah, it's Yoko Taro, so it's a bizarre game. It's really out there. So basically, I guess the best thing would be just give you the kind of what the game's about kind of thing. So anyways, Sega collaborated with Yoko Taro, the creator of Nier series and Dragon Dragoon, in making this game, Error Game Reset. The pre-registration has started if you're interested in the game on iOS and Android. Basically, the setting of the game is that the world that you live in has been manipulated by Sega.
By Sega?
Sega has manipulated and created a world that revolves around them, that they control, in their favor. And they control infrastructure to entertainment. And they have created a world where they reign supreme in all areas. And
that's pretty wild and entertaining.
and so the main character, you, the player, encounters a mysterious being who is only referred to as X. And X tells the player that this world is incorrect. It's not right. That this
It
world,
ain't right.
yeah, this world that you live in is not the real world. It's a world that is corrupt or bent to the will of the evil mega corporation Sega. Right? So it's this world, weird, warped world that Sega has made for their favor. Pretty wild setting, huh?
Yeah.
And so the goal of the game is to use Sega's own products to kill Sega. So,
Was this like a parody of the Sega game?
maybe, back in the Dreamcast, one of the last Sega games that they released on the Dreamcast, Sega Gaga, which is a game that is full of, funny kind of poking at themselves kind of satirical game. So anyways, your goal is to save the world from Sega, the evil mega corporation that is secretly ruling the world. And basically, it's kill God, and the God is Sega. Right?
I don't know. Maybe it's his kind of humorous way of that. Being that straightforward can become a problem. So it's kind of a joke on God and corporations.
Yeah, there might be an underlying theme like that.
And Sega is based enough that they don't care if you call the evil place controlling the world Sega.
Yeah. So
They're like, hey, that's kind of funny. Okay.
So, like with Nier Reincarnation, which is the Nier mobile game, and with Sino Alice, those are two games that Yoko Taro were involved with that are mobile games. With those games, I really like Yoko Taro's games, but I didn't play those games because his involvement seemed pretty limited. But interestingly, this game, he is very, very involved.
Strange.
He wrote the story for the game, and apparently he wrote a lot of the sub-stories for the games too. He came up with the concept of the game too. So this is a very hands-on game for him. It's the first mobile game that he's very, very hands-on. Apparently Sega approached him and they said they wanted to make a mobile game with him. And he continued to say no, apparently. And he was like, no, I don't want to make a mobile game. I'm
already pretty busy.
Yeah, his main excuse was that he's already really busy. But he said that he thought back at it, because apparently he's a big Sega fan too. And he was just thinking about stuff, and he was like, I wouldn't mind.
It's pretty ironic because he kind of had a long partnership thing with Square Enix, which was like insanely like anti-Sega, and now they're like insanely anti Xbox and Microsoft.
Yeah, but
so it's kind of amusing that a guy that had a lot to do with them is like that.
Yeah, but Yoko Taro is based enough that he actually jokes about Square Enix not paying him. He's a cool person. So to know how cool he is, he doesn't like Kamiya, and that says a lot. Yeah, he's not totally clear on it, and he kind of pretends
he continues to poke at Kamiya's pettiness as a human being.
Yeah, but understanding his humor, he kind of pretends to be his friend, but like reading his tone and stuff, it kind of seems like he's effing with him.
Yeah.
Anyways, but he was saying that he actually turned the deal down a couple of times, but he actually went back and thought about well, if I did work with them, what would make sense? And he said that one thing, even if he's busy, that he would like to do is he said he's always loved Sega's IPs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he said that, and he replied to them a little later after thinking about it. If I could make a game and use your IPs and maybe some other game companies' IPs too, eventually, I would be up to that. And so apparently Sega was like, well, that sounds actually pretty cool. We're not sure about other companies' IPs, but our ones, yeah, we're totally up to that. What kind of ideas do you have? So he got an okay from Sega, and he was thinking about the story, what he would do with it, and everything. Apparently, in the process of thinking of the story, he said that he can't imagine a Sega game where Sega made, where they come out at, that they depict themselves in a favorable way. Yeah, because they've always kind of poked at themselves, right? With the Sega game and everything. They kind of joke about themselves. This humor actually goes into even Like a Dragon.
Yeah, we're at the cabaret club in Zero when Majima talks to one of the girls. He's like, "You're talking about the Mega Drive / Genesis," and they're like, "What?
Huh?
What is that?" And he's like, "You mean like the Famicom, right?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah.
Like they have no idea what
A Mega Drive or Genesis is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Sega, so anyways, that shows that he's a real Sega fan, but he's like, he just can't imagine a game that Sega makes, that Sega comes out in, that they would depict themselves in a favorable way. So he said he decided to turn them into an evil empire. So actually that sounds pretty cool.
Make Rage of the Machine proud.
Yeah. So he turned Sega into an evil empire that controls infrastructure to entertainment, and they control all this for themselves. So the setting is actually pretty interesting. A lot of internal jokes, probably. But you are fighting to kill Sega, the god of this world that they created, and you kill them with their IP. And what that means is that the Sega IPs, like say Hang On, or Virtual On, or Virtua Fighter, these games, so what he decided to do is turn these games that they made into cute anime girls that you fight with. So it's kind of a...
They turn them into chicas.
So Yoko Taro anthropomorphized Sega games, basically. Well, in Japanese that would be Gijinka, right? So he anthropomorphized Sega software into actual beings, people, right? And turned them into cute girls that you would want to collect and fight with to kill Sega. So you can actually collect these cute, like, character that is basically Virtua Fighter, the anthropomorphized version of Virtua Fighter, and Virtual On, and Super Hang On, and eventually, I'm sure, like more like Sonic. You finally would actually see Sonico. This is a little bit too deep. A long time ago, there was a Sega Saturn magazine in Japan called Satamaga. That every month they would release with a disc that you could only put in the Sega Saturn.
That had game demos on it.
That had game demos, and it's kind of like the OG Xbox magazine.
Yeah.
Or
I'm sure there was a PS magazine that was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back in the day, Yoshizaki Mine, the creator of Keroro Gunso, and And what was that? That animal one?
Kemono Friends.
Kemono Friends. He also did character designs for Paradius Deluxe. And what was that other one? Anyways, so he's a very established character designer. He had a corner where he actually made a Sega Saturn ko that people kind of called Sonico because the Sega Saturn, the anthropomorphized version of his take of the Sega Saturn into a cute bishoujo or cute anime girl was kind of based off of Sonic. And this character only came out in that Satamaga, which is Sega Saturn magazine. And if you're a really die-hard Sega fan, you know this character, but it's just like so obscure. I don't even know why I'm talking about it right now. But so, anyways, I think maybe it's even a throwback going back to there because Yoko Taro seems to be a really, really hardcore Sega fan. It seems.
I know every once in a while he talks about shooting games that were on Sega hardware.
Yeah.
He even talks once in a while that he wishes that the cave games were backwards. All the cave games were backwards compatible.
So he's really hands-on on the scenario, and other than the main, apparently there's two main things.
He will turn Tails into a femboy like 9S, right?
That would be really cool. So
because Tails is a femboy.
Yeah, and to me and you, Tails is canon femboy.
Yeah, canon femboy hot for Sonic.
Yeah, so hot for Sonic. That's like hot for teacher kind of thing. Anyways, so apparently there's two main stories. The main narrative of the game you can follow, but other than that, each character has their own sub-story. So it's actually, I guess it's meaningful to try to collect the other characters because you can follow their story. So you can follow
characters that will cost you an arm and nose
probably.
to collect.
But this is so friggin' niche. I can't imagine this game as a social game will last more than a year.
Maybe they'll turn it into a legit game later.
That would be kind of cool. Because he's involved actually with really actually writing the story and some of the sub-stories, at least at the beginning, for the characters that are there. I'm kind of, I don't really care about social games and app games anymore, but I might try this out, actually. It sounds pretty crazy. It sounds very Yoko Taro, so I'll probably try it out. Also, what he's said about the process of making it is kind of his own humor and kind of cool, too. He was saying that making the game is kind of, to him, was like, he said the process of making the game was like being lost and wandering in the mist, not knowing where to go and what to do. But it was really fun being lost together with the Sega characters that he loved and grew up with. So he said it's one of the few games. He said he's 52 years old, and this game made him feel like he knows nothing about making games again, and it was kind of fun in that way. So, a lot of his kind of black humor right there. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how it turns out. Yeah. So,
I'll have to check the preview on like the Google store to see what exactly it looks like.
Yeah. The character designs are not too cutesy. They're kind of also kind of cool. So, yeah, I think you might want to try it out. So that's about it for information this week. And since you came to the end with that playthrough.
This was the second completion I've done on this stream.
Oh, you completed the game right now?
Yeah.
Really? Well, I didn't
Strangely, none of the achievements popped.
That's weird.
But I have everything.
But you have everything. Okay, well, that's cool. You completed Vampire Survivors again. So I guess that's a successful stream. So, it's been 2 hours. It's probably a good place to kind of end this stream.
It was goofy, but we got some entertaining talk done, huh?
Yeah. Information was pretty...
Didn't think I'd talk about Morimura Honey during the stream.
So, it's probably a good place to end the stream. Would you like
all you good kids should go check that name out. you will be pleasantly surprised.
Pleasantly
You will
surprised.
thank me and thank whatever god or mantra you worship.
Yeah. So, would you like to wrap up the stream then, Jenny?
Yeah.
Actually,
Well-
I didn't ask you who you were at all. I didn't introduce you. Well, would you like to introduce yourself and wrap it up at the same time?
Well, why don't I wrap? Why don't I introduce myself at the very end before goodbye then?
Sounds good. Go ahead.
Well, that was pretty messy, and I encountered a glitch or bug that I don't know if other people have. But I don't know. I think I'll check to see if I can get through there
Before the stream
on
next
myself.
week. Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow or something.
Uh-huh.
If it continues to be like that, I'm just gonna play something else next week.
If it continues to be like that, uninstall and reinstall.
Well, I'll try that too, and if it's still weird, then I'll just play something else and wait until they say like they made some kind of patches or did something. But well, I hope you enjoyed the talk and important, interesting information about the sex industry in Japan and prostitution brothels in Japan. It's very very helpful, and you got to know that you are not welcome in any of those places.
Some of them.
Well, only some of them.
Other than a select few, you are not
Yeah.
welcome. If you're a foreigner.
So you learn something important there. But well, we do this kind of stuff every week. So if you want to catch up, you have like 50 of them in English and Japanese put together to catch up to.
There's a lot of catching up.
Yeah, even with the Lost Tales episode, which I think I'll try to redo sometime.
Yeah, you can redo it sometime, huh?
Yeah. A remaster of the Lost episode.
Remaster of the Lost episode.
But I hope you enjoyed it, and whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, next millennium, or as an AI entity. But hope to see you again, and if not, and no matter what the case is, I wish the best of luck for you, and good night, and keep smiling. This was Jenny.
Awesome. So Jenny puts her her previous streams of gaming on her YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube and you put in ZGENNYY, Jenny will be the first person that pops up. Check out the older streams. Subscribe, like, and click the notification button if you will. You're doing the Jotaro finger right now. So every week on Saturday 0 o'clock Japan time, Jenny streams some game. So I hope to see you next week, and hope you have a good weekend and week. See you later.